What I'm going to show you today is how I set up my live performance for my Koala Sampler on the tablet. Basically, a few weeks ago, I finally got hold of something that actually worked for me in my live setup. As you can see behind me, I've got my rigs. I've had countless rigs over the years. I've had so much different equipment, tried to connect it all, and it's not worked for me. It's not been as flowing as I wanted it to be. But with the Koala Sampler, which cost me like less than $6 on on the Google store, downloaded it, experimented with it, and it's just an absolute dream. It's like having an Akai MPC, or having Ableton Live with the push but without all the equipment. So anyway, what I've done is I've come up with a couple of jams on there, but what I do first is I transfer them from Ableton, convert them into Wave, and then I put them back into Koala. So I'm just going to show you the process of how I do that, and what it means for me and my live arrangement. Let's go. As you can see on the screen, I've got this rather large sort of arrangement going off here. This basically is a live set that I put together pre-pandemic, so it's a good 4 years old now. It was something I was going to start developing, and then obviously lockdown happened and all that, and I just put it to the side. I did one show with it, but yeah, the rest of it is just, most of it's unreleased, unheard, kind of techno-y sort of house demos, quite on the more of a harder tip. And for example, I'm going to show you the 2 tracks that I converted and then put into Koala. It's a brilliant little piece of equipment, the Koala Sampler is, and once you see what I've done, if you've not seen it before, you'll understand where I'm coming from. I've got these 2 tracks here, and these are the 2 that I've converted so far, okay? I'm just going to play them for you now, and then we'll see what we get. And then the second one is this one. So there you go, there's a couple of jams that I've put together, and I've converted them so that I can put them into the Koala, and I'm going to show you how I do it and how it works for me as a live performer. If you look at the screen now, you can see all of my loops. You've got my kicks here, you've got my Rhodes, my synth bass, and then my synth riff, and there's a flatline string in there, which I've not converted just yet, but that has been done prior to this. This is the original setup. So all I've done is I've got all of the waves of these, the little loops, the 1-bar loops, the 2-bar loops, whatever they may be. In here I've got the kicks, I've got the vocals. You can see in here, look, they've got these tiny little vocals that I've made, all of these little vocal hooks, which make up the track, and then you've got the organ riff here, which is basically organ riff there. And basically all I've done is I've converted these, took them off Ableton, put them into a file, and then I've transferred them into my tablet, and then I've uploaded them into the Koala, which I'm going to show you how I've done it now. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the Koala Sampler set up in front of me. I've got my own skin designed on it as well, as you can see, with a few disco logos. Now, all of the samples from the Ableton are now transferred into this, and they're all in individual stems, all short bar loops, like this, look. Etc, etc. So what I want to do is I want to put this into a sequence. Now the beauty of this, as I've said, it's like an Akai MPC without the expense and all of the headache that comes with one of those, in my opinion. And also I wanted to have a loop style player like Ableton Push in session view without the laptop. And I've finally found it within a tablet piece of software that costs less than $7, $8. So what more can you ask for? So once you've got your loops in and your samples in, you drop them all into these little boxes down here, you go to sequence, and then obviously I've got a few house tracks built in here. And you can have 8 boxes in here, you can have whatever loops you want in those 8 boxes, and then they can sync and play like you would pressing buttons on an Akai or whatever on an Ableton Push. So I've got this little track here, and I'm just going to press play here, and I'm going to double click on this and then play it from here, look. And this is an 8-bar loop, look. And there you go. And that's that. So basically that's how I do it. And then obviously I'm building a little set here. So I've got another track over here, which is the other one you heard, and we'll double click on this. And this is a 4-bar loop. Bass is a bit loud on that one, so I need to tweak that. But basically that's how it works. It's very simple. You can drop straight into it, and it's also got MIDI sync as well, so you can put it to your hardware stuff, which I'm going to do with my acid box and so forth. And also I've got MIDI out on my DJ mixer, so I can sync it to that as well and be able to mix tracks and so forth, if I was to use it as a hybrid DJ thing, so I don't have to mess about with the BPM, which is great. So anyway, if I was to double click on one, I want to show you something that if you're going to use this and you start making little jams and you start to get frustrated at something, which is basically the looping. If you've got a 4-bar loop here, right, like this. Okay, but then your next one, just imagine that is, let's go to 2 bars, okay? And like this. See, it went out of sync. It goes out of sync because it's got to be the same amount of bars as the previous box for it to flow and smoothly roll over. Otherwise it will go out of sync. So if this one's 2 bar, this one's 7 bar or 1 bar, it will go out of sync. So you've got to make sure that everything is the same amount of bars, okay, in your loops. You can have as many bars as you want. You know, battery's going on the tablet, as you can see. You can have as many loops as you want, and you know, build the track in those 8 boxes, and you've got another set there, another set there. Yes, you've got loads and loads of stuff to do. But that's it. That's how I make my tracks. Convert them from Ableton over into the tablet, into the Koala Sampler, trigger them via that. You can also plug in MIDI devices to trigger them, but I'm going to use just these loops because it's easier for me. And that's it. So that's how I make and perform with the Koala, and I'm only just getting into it. So there's loads more that I can do with it. So that's it for the session of how I set up my Koala Sampler. I put my tracks into Ableton, I create them in Ableton obviously, and then I bounce them out and I stick the loops in here, and I just kind of, you know, freestyle loop it. Obviously it's still in, you know, that is in early stages, but you know, I'm developing the whole thing, so I've got a full set, you know, together to go. And then what I'll do is I can also MIDI sync this to my acid box over there, my Roland J6 and my my Korg Volca. And then I live jam with the JDXI. So, you know, this little piece of equipment here, this little software, should I say, you know, for less than $6-7 is absolutely brilliant. And that's how I put together my little tracks for my live jams. So I hope you took from that. I hope you took some inspiration from that. There's all sorts of stuff I've not shown you on there, like the perform, the filter and all that. I did a brief video on it the other week, but I've not really gone deep into it because I'm just still learning how to just, you know, get everything synced and in time and stuff. So that's how I do my live performance with the Koala Sampler, which is a big game changer for me because I've been stuck in the doldrums. I've been kind of like wanting something to get my teeth into, something new, something away from Ableton. Even though I'm still creating the tracks within Ableton, it's still, you know, I want something like Ableton, but not Ableton, if that makes sense. So I don't want to have a laptop, and I don't want loads of gadgets around me. I want this minimal but maximum output, you know, minimal gear and maximum output. So hopefully I should have got that with this now. Anyway, if not, it's still a bit of fun to experiment with anyway. Whether you make hip hop or house or techno, whatever, you know, the Koala Sampler loop player is brilliant. So you can, you know, you could even use it for your DJ sets. You know, you could drop that on, drop a track on there, mix a track in, you know, all kinds of, you know, possibilities with that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.